What up, guys? It's Kylo here. So, as you can see, the whole direwolf shit has been taking the internet by storm. I just wanted to come and just debunk all of this. I'm not a paleoanthropologist, but I do know a lot about paleoanthropology. And, well, most of this is bullshit. So, I will explain why.
Listen, there's a good chance somebody's trying to hack your website right now. You gotta.
We turn now to that remarkable scientific breakthrough, 13,000 years after the last dire wolf walked.
So this is just false to begin with. The direwolf is still extinct. It's still an extinct species. It's not coming
The
back.
Earth. Scientists say they've now brought them back. Here's our chief national correspondent back up and with the video tonight.
Tonight, a howl 13,000 years in the making.
No, with this is just not true at all. 13,000 years, it's still extinct. Whether it's in permafrost or whether it's a fossil, it's not coming back.
In a first for science, biotech company Colossal Biosciences says.
See, I think they're just being misleading because what they should say is that it's a hybrid. A hybrid is not the original species. I could inject a dodo bird DNA into a parakeet, and that doesn't make it a dodo bird. So basically what they're saying is if you inject any DNA into the descendants of a certain species, that it's just gonna be that species. Not true. Like with mammoths, them returning in air quotations, it's not actually like returning. It's just a hybrid that emits the behavior, like maybe like the size of it, but not like the actual mammoth.
It brought the extinct direwolf back to life.
Yeah, not true.
A species that hasn't walked the earth since the Stone Age.
The direwolf is the first de-extinct species.
Well known
De-extinct, I mean, I guess you could say that in like
from HBO's hit show Game of Thrones. ABC News given exclusive access into Colossal's lab in Dallas, where scientists are using genes from gray wolves to create dire
Now
wolves.
see, this makes no sense. How could you create gray wolf DNA to make a dire wolf? So basically, they have an extinct dire wolf, and that gray wolf DNA that they inject brings the dire wolf back to life. This makes no sense.
We've taken a gray wolf genome, a gray wolf cell, which is already genetically 99.5% identical.
I don't believe that. Well, they're wrong saying that gray wolves are their closest living ancestors. Or not ancestors, sorry, descendants. Because they are more related to jackals. In fact, dire wolves are not wolves. They are more closely related to jackals.
To dire wolves, and we've edited those cells at multiple places in its DNA sequence to contain the dire wolf version of the DNA.
So that makes no sense. What they're saying is they've just edited to have dire wolf DNA. That just doesn't mean that their entire genetic freaking structure is a dire wolf. If that was the case, then they would not be extinct.
That animal looks like a dire wolf, it will behave like a dire wolf, and it is a dire wolf.
No, it's not. I don't know why I like this either, so. It's not a dire wolf. Not true. So this whole misleading bullshit really pisses me off because it's just like, it's not true. Like, it's not a dire wolf. Like I said, if I inject a permafrost mammoth DNA into an elephant, that doesn't make it a mammoth. It's just has the qualities of it, sure, but it's not genetically one-to-one a mammoth.
Now, 7 months old, direwolves Romulus and Remus eating well and getting bigger every day.
That is a badass name. I'll give you that.
And David, the company tells us they're not stopping there. They plan to have woolly mammoths roaming the earth again by 2028.
Yeah, see, now this whole roaming the earth again, I bet you everybody on this screen right now doesn't know shit about paleoanthropology. I believe in science, obviously. I'm not debunking science. But this doesn't make any sense with what they're saying, because this is just not true. Because if you look here, so that took a while. You can see right here, it says numerous direwolf fossils have been found, and jackals may be the closest living relative, so. Closest living relative to the extinct direwolf is not the gray wolf, but rather the African jackal, so they are 100% wrong, so maybe learn your shit first. These are probably the same type of people who, if you ask them that Neanderthals are dumb, they'd say yes, which is not true. Neanderthals were actually very intelligent, not as intelligent as modern day Homo sapiens, but they were intelligent.
But critics argue that this de-extinction could harm fragile ecosystems.
It could harm people because it's bullshit. That's what it is. It's not real. And I've actually seen videos debunking it. Yeah, they didn't make direwolves. They didn't. Like, anybody with minor knowledge of anything could say, that they brought this back, they brought that back, which is not true. So, yeah, just wanted to debunk this. See you guys.